Hi guys. The next thing that I want you to do is I want you to think about all the different things we read about. So we read about microbes, we read about the earth, microbes are on earth, we read about our big home, we read about rivers, and we read about volcanoes. And I want you to pick a topic that's interesting to you. So something that you want to learn more about. And what I want you to do is I want you to think about what you already know and what you still wonder. And what I did was I created a know and wonder chart based off what you gave me on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, I had you listen to the book Volcano Rising, and I had you write down what you know and what you still wonder, or the questions that you still have. And I wrote those all down. And what I did was I read them over and I said, what question am I noticing the most and what am I interested in? And then I found a question that was, where can you find a volcano? And what I want you to do is I want you to choose a question, like where can you find a volcano? And I want you to do some research. And there are websites for kids where you can do research. One of them is called kidtopia.info. Another one is called kidrex.org. Another one is called kiddle.co. And the last one is kidssearch.com. And I'm going to list these on ClassDojo as well. But these are going to be research sites that you are going to ask your question in. And then you are going to find the answer to your question. Now, when I went on these websites, I wrote down, where can I find a volcano? And I decided to write a book. And my book is called, Where Can You Find a Volcano? And and this is all I did. I took some paper, I folded it in half, and then I stapled it. So it's something that you can do at home. And then I found some markers, I found some colored pencils, and I created my very own book. Now, this did not take me a little bit of amount of time. It took me a lot of time. This took me almost like an hour to complete. So I really took my time, and I can show you I really took my time through my illustrations and my words. And you are going to get to present your research topic on ClassDojo. Now mine is where can you find a volcano? And I did my book like this, and I included a map. And I included a map key. And this map key says every time you see a red triangle, it means that's where a volcano is. And in my book, I wrote that there are many volcanoes around the world. Most volcanoes are located along slabs of rock called tectonic plates. There are more than 1,500 active volcanoes on Earth. Now, this was super interesting to me, this tectonic plates, and I didn't know what that was. And I didn't think you would know what that was either. So I made a page about tectonic plates, and I did some more research. And I found out that tectonic plates are giant flat rocks that fit together like a puzzle. Many volcanoes form along tectonic plates because there is a break in the puzzle. This break pushes magma through the crack, forming a volcano. And I drew, see all those gray lines around my globe? I drew those because that means that is where a tectonic plate is found, or that's a boundary. And I went through and I added pages. I added a page about the Ring of Fire, which is this special area on the earth where there are the most volcanoes. And I wrote about the Ring of Fire. I wrote about where I can find volcanoes in the United States, where we live. I can find volcanoes in Alaska. And remember, those red triangles are where volcanoes are. And this is actually part of the Ring of Fire. So you're noticing, look at all those volcanoes on the Ring of Fire. And you can find volcanoes in Hawaii. And Hawaii is islands in the Pacific Ocean. And all of these islands are made from volcanoes. And I wrote down all of my information. And every single page is about this first title. Where can you find a volcano? Well, we can find volcanoes around the world. We can find them along tectonic plates. We can find them in the Ring of Fire, and this is an imaginary ring, just like the axis. We can find volcanoes in Alaska, and we can find them in Hawaii. Now your job is you can choose to pick a question from your wonder column about volcanoes, microbes, rivers, or anything about the earth. And I want you to either create a poster answering your question or your wonder, or you can create a book answering your question or your wonder. You can create a chart or an illustration. But your job is to research or to find the answer to your question. All right, I can't wait to see what you guys come up with, and I can't wait to hear about it because you are going to be creating a video on ClassDojo to share. I cannot wait to see the answers you come up with and the questions that you have. Remember, it's not just volcanoes. You can do microbes. You can do anything on the earth that you might have a question about. You can do rivers. And of course, there is volcanoes, but there are plenty of other areas that you can ask a question about. All right, guys. See ya. Can't wait.